the girl who did
The
not
shadows
belong.
stir once
Lena
more.
knew that she could make
I have
herself seem
awakened to
tiny.
claim what is
She had
mine.
figured this out a time ago. Lena had learned how to do this. It was something that she was very good at. Lena could make herself small when she wanted to. In the city where
No,
people
please.
lived, under the castle of the vampires, being invisible was the only way to stay alive. The girls slept in alleys, did little jobs to clean up when she got the chance, and dealt with mean people being cruel to her without saying a word. Nobody stuck up for a girl who had no home in a world where vampires, who lived forever, were in charge. The human girl had to be careful all the time because the vampires were very powerful. The city was a place for a human girl like her. The night that changed everything for Lena, she did something that would affect her life forever. Lena saved a child from a market stall that was on fire. She had no idea who this vampire child was at the time. King Alaric was there when it happened. He saw the thing with his own eyes. King Alaric did. He was in charge for a long time, making decisions without feeling anything. He thought that emotions were bad and that people who lived forever should not have them. Then he saw Lena. She was protecting the child with her own body. She was coughing and bleeding, but she would not let the child go. This made something old wake up inside of him, something that had been sleeping for a long time. The child and Lena, they were making him feel things he had not felt in a long time. He was starting to see that emotions were not always weaknesses. The child and Lena were showing him that. The lady was taken to the castle. She was not a prisoner or anything like that. The lady was actually a guest at the castle. The court really made fun of her clothes. The servants were talking quietly to each other. The vampires were laughing at her. Alaric made sure she was safe. He wanted to keep her from getting hurt, so he ordered that she be protected. The people around her had to make sure her safety was their priority because Alaric ordered her protected. Lena was a person in the castle. She cleaned the libraries, took care of the gardens that nobody else paid attention to. Lena never asked for anything. Mira, who was a healer, became friends with Lena. Mira saw the scars on Lena that other people did not notice. Lord Kale watched Lena without saying anything. Lord Kale thought that the king was interested in Lena for reasons not because of politics. The king's attention toward Lena was personal. Lena's warmth started to get into Alaric's world. It was a slow process. This warmth was something that Lena had. It was going into the cold world that Alaric was living in. The world that Alaric was in was frozen. Lena's warmth was changing that. Lena's warmth was slowly making Alaric's world a warmer place. She did not even notice it happening. Slowly she became the thing that made his heart beat. The complaint that changed everything. Lena did not realize that she was always following Alaric with her kindness. She just did it because that is what Lena did. Lena was kind to Alaric. That is just how it was. Lena followed Alaric with her kindness a lot, it seemed. The woman made a cup of tea that the man did not want to drink. She had gone to the trouble of brewing the tea. The man just did not feel like drinking it. The tea was still sitting there. The woman was wondering why she had even bothered to make the tea in the first place. The tea was for the man. He did not drink the tea. The man would often read books when he pretended not to hear what was being said to him. He liked to read books. Sometimes he would pretend not to hear things. The books were very interesting to him. I sat beside him. We just sat there in silence. The fact that I was there with him was a comfort to me. Being near him was what mattered, not what we said. My presence was comfort to him. His presence was comfort to me. What she did not know was the thing that really broke her. It was something she overheard that did this to her. The thing that she overheard was what broke her. Behind the study doors, Alaric was talking to Lord Kale and his brother. The study doors were really heavy. Alaric was speaking to Lord Kale and his brother inside the room. The king said, "She is everywhere." He sounded really tired when he said it. He did not sound mean, just tired. The king was talking about the woman. The woman is everywhere. I think about this a lot. It is in my thoughts. It is also in my rooms where I spend most of my time. The silence I once had is now. That is what I think about. The silence was nice, it was something I had. Now it is not there anymore. Then the word that really hurt her a lot was, "This woman is really suffocating me. She's always around. I feel like I need some space from her. The woman is too much for me to handle." Lena just stood there, she could not move. Her chest felt like it was on fire. The man was not mad at her. The man was really tired. That really hurt a lot more. She did not cry. She did not confront the man. The woman did not cry. The woman did not confront him. She just did not. She did not confront the man. The woman did something that was really bad. She made a mistake, and it was even worse than what she did before. The thing she did was very wrong. She listened. The space she gave him was really important. This space was what he needed from her. She gave him the space he required. The space she gave him allowed him to think clearly about the things that were going on. She gave him the space he needed. The morning Lena was gone from Alaric's life, but Lena was still somewhere in the castle. The woman went all the way to the far east wing of the house. Stopped visiting his chambers. Spoke to him only in formal tones. Your Majesty. No warmth. No laughter. She thought about her life and what she wanted to do. She was trying to understand herself and what made her happy. She focused on herself and her own feelings. Mira helped Lena. She studied really old books. Lena also learned how to shoot a bow and arrow. Then Lena fixed up a greenhouse that nobody used anymore, and it made the empty castle feel alive, with all the plants and trees. The court really liked the way she was so strong. The court thought she had a lot of strength. They liked that about her. The court was impressed by her strength. Alaric felt something was not right when he did not see her. It was like a hole that he could not ignore. The absence of her was really getting to him like a cut that would not heal. Alaric noticed her absence. It hurt him deeply, like a wound that was still fresh. The silence that he begged for was really unbearable. He had asked for silence. Now the silence was very difficult for him to handle. The silence he begged for was too much. He could not hear her heartbeat anymore. Only then did he realize that her heartbeat had kept him alive. The sound of her heartbeat was something that had kept him going. Now it was gone. He had grown so used to the sound of her heartbeat that he had not even realized how much it meant to him until it stopped. The silence was deafening. It made him feel empty inside. Her heartbeat was a reminder that she was still with him. Now that it was gone, he felt lost and alone. Lord Kale warned him gently. You asked for space, my king. She gave you the freedom you wanted, my king. Freedom is what you got from her, my king. Freedom felt like a kind of punishment to me. The king's regret was a heavy burden. I think about the king's regret all the time. It is just that the king's regret is always on my mind. Freedom is not what I thought it would be. It is like the king's regret is what I am dealing with now. Alaric tried to get the things that Alaric lost. He wanted those things back badly. Alaric was determined to reclaim what belonged to Alaric. The man invited the woman to eat with him. He asked the woman to have dinner with him. The woman was invited to meals by the man. The woman said no in a way. She was very polite when she said no. The woman declined. The person went to the gardens. He walked around the gardens. The gardens were really nice. He liked the gardens. The woman bowed her head. Then she went back to what she was doing. She kept on working on the task at hand, which was the work that the woman was doing. The work that the woman was doing required her attention, so the woman gave it her full attention and she continued working. She was not asking for his attention anymore. The woman was done trying to get him to notice her. She did not want his attention now. The woman was over it. The girl had really grown up a lot. She was not the person anymore. The girl had grown. The final blow came when Lena announced that she would leave the castle. She wanted to open a shelter for humans. This was something she could do because of the knowledge and confidence she gained at the castle. Lena was using the knowledge and confidence she gained at the castle to help humans. The woman did not need the man to protect her anymore. She was okay on her own now. The man's protection was not necessary for her. The woman was safe without him. Alaric is broken. The vampire king got down on his knees for the time in a very long time. This was not because he was fighting. Because he was feeling really ashamed of something the vampire king had done. He said that he thought of her love as a burden, something that weighed him down. He actually told her that he called her love a burden. The man confessed that he really did think of her love as a burden. I lost the only thing that made living forever okay. Love earned, not taken. Lena did not forgive him away. She took her time to think about it. Lena was still upset with him. She needed some time to calm down and think clearly about the whole situation. Lena and forgiveness were not going to happen for him. That really mattered to me. It was something that made a difference. The fact that it mattered is what is important. This thing, it mattered. Alaric changed in a way, not just by saying things but by doing things. He stood up for humans in front of everyone. He gave money to places that help people who were homeless. He made sure that no one was treated badly in his court. Alaric stood next to Lena, not like he was better than her. Like they were equal. He treated Lena with respect. Alaric did not try to act like he was above Lena. Love came back into my life. It took its time. Love was not something that happened overnight. It returned slowly, carefully. When Lena finally chose the man, she did not choose him because she needed someone to take care of her. Because she wanted the man to be with her as the man was her equal. The kingdom of the man and Lena changed when Lena made this choice about the man. The moral was clear. Backhand index pointing right. Being kind to people is really great. It does not feel overwhelming. Kindness is a thing and it is never too much. Backhand index pointing right. People who are not thankful for love are the ones who feel like it is a weight on them. Love is something that should make us happy. Some people do not see it that way. They see love as a burden, and that is really sad because love is what makes life worth living, and people who are ungrateful for love are missing out on that. The Vampire King found out something important about living forever. He learned that being immortal is not about living for a very long time, but the Vampire King also discovered that it is about seeing everything change around the Vampire King. The Vampire King realized that the Vampire King has to get used to people he cares about getting older and dying while the Vampire King stays young and alive. This was a hard lesson for the Vampire King to learn, but the Vampire King knew it was something the Vampire King had to accept if the Vampire King wanted to keep living forever. Silence is not peace when it takes away the person who made your life worth living. The girl who didn't belong. Lena found out a time ago that people do not pay attention to girls like Lena. Lena is homeless and nobody notices her. She has been hurt a lot in her life. So Lena moves around the city where people live under the castle where the vampires live very quietly. At night Lena sleeps in alleys. During the day Lena does jobs to clean up places, and when people are mean to Lena she does not say anything. For Lena to survive it is very important that nobody sees her, that Lena is like a ghost. One night she saved a child from a burning market stall. This was a big deal because the boy's life was in her hands. She had no idea that the boy was a member of a family. She also did not know that King Alaric had seen what she did. The Vampire King, King Alaric, was very old and scary to everyone. He had been in charge for a long time and he always thought that feelings were bad things. When Lena was brave, it woke up something inside of him that he had not felt in a long time. The Vampire King, King Alaric, was surprised by Lena's courage. She went to the castle and people did not put her in a cell. They treated her like a guest instead. The people at the court made fun of her clothes. The vampires did not like that she was there. Alaric said that she had to be safe. So Lena just kept to herself in the castle. She cleaned the books in the library and took care of the gardens that nobody else cared about. She never tried to get anyone's attention. Mira, who helped people, became friends with Lena. Mira saw the scars on Lena that other people did not notice. Lord Kale, who advised Alaric, watched Lena without saying anything. He thought that Alaric liked Lena in a way. Lena's warmth slowly started to get into Alaric's life. It was a process. At first he did not even notice it was happening. Then it became a part of him, like a heartbeat that he was not used to. The complaint that changed everything. Lena thought nobody saw what she did for him. She made tea for him, read to him, and was always around when he was there. What Lena did not expect was to hear the truth about her care. Behind the doors of Alaric's study she heard Alaric talking to Lord Kale and his brother. Alaric said, "She is everywhere." His voice sounded really tired, not mean all. Alaric thought about her all the time. She was in Alaric's thoughts, in Alaric's rooms, and in the quiet moments Alaric used to have. The thing that really hurt her was when he said, "She's suffocating me." Those words cut into her heart. The words, "she's suffocating me," were like a knife that cut through her soul. Lena stopped moving. His voice was not angry, it was just really tired. She did not cry. She did not yell at him. She just listened to him. When she listened she understood how hard things were for him. The love she gave him, it was always there. It was strong, but it was too much for him. He was used to being alone for a long time, so her love was overwhelming. The space she gave him. The day Lena was gone from Alaric's daily routine, but she was still in the castle. Lena moved to the wing of the castle. She did not go to Alaric's chambers anymore. When Lena spoke to Alaric she was very polite and calm. Lena spent most of her time thinking about herself. Lena studied books with the help of Mira. Lena also practiced archery. Lena worked on a greenhouse that had not been used in a long time. The castle started to feel alive because of all the new plants Lena was growing. The court saw how much she had changed. Alaric saw that she was not there. The quiet that he had wanted was now very hard to deal with. The sound of her heartbeat that used to bother him was now a reminder of the warmth that he missed. Lord Kale told him in a way, "You asked for space, my king. The woman gave you what you wanted. She gave you freedom to do what you want." Freedom was not what he thought it would be. It actually turned out to be a kind of punishment that he did not see coming. The king's regret. Alaric wanted to get back what was his. He asked her to eat with him. She said no. Alaric looked for her in the gardens. When he found her she was nice. Said hello, but she kept on working. Alaric saw that she was doing well, taking care of herself, and she did not need his approval anymore. She was happy with Alaric not being in charge of her life, and Alaric saw that she was thriving without him. The final blow came when Lena said she was going to leave the castle. Lena wanted to help people who did not have homes. She was going to open a place where these people could stay. Lena was using the things she had learned. The confidence she had gained from Lena's experiences. Lena did not need his help anymore to take care of Lena. Alaric felt really helpless. This was the time in a very long time the Vampire King said he was wrong. I said your love was a burden, he said quietly. The Vampire King was talking about his mistake. He lost the one thing that made living okay. The Vampire King lost the love that made eternity bearable for the Vampire King. The feeling of regret was really deep. The lesson I learned from it was also very deep. The main thing I understood is that love is not something you can just take. You have to do things to earn love. Love is something that you have to earn. It is not something that you can just get easily. Love earned, not taken. Lena did not forgive him away. That was important. Alaric changed in his way. He started doing things. Alaric defended humans when people were watching. Alaric stopped being cruel in his court. Alaric also helped Lena with what she wanted to do. Alaric earned Lena's trust over time. Alaric earned Lena's love too. Lena loved Alaric because he was her, not because she had to take care of him. When Lena finally chose him, the kingdom was really different. The castle was empty and boring before. Then it was full of life. The walls used to be quiet. Now people were laughing and having a good time. Lena had given him a life and he learned a lot from her. He became humble and patient. He figured out what love is really about. The kingdom and the castle were not the things that changed Lena, changed him, and he learned a lot from Lena and the true meaning of love. Moral: kindness is never suffocating. Only ungrateful hearts feel burdened by love. And silence, when it costs the one who gave you life, is the heaviest curse of all.